Hi everybody, welcome back to the channel and welcome to another airbrushing step by step. We are doing a baby Michael Myers today. Let's take a look at the products we're using in today's video. Right, they're the bits that we're using in today's video, guys. Now I've done quite a bit off camera. Now I'm going to talk you through the easiest way around to get it to where we are now. Working off an easel, I've got an LED light above, nice and simple, casts all your shadows below, so get your light source above, and then you're working with your shadows below it. From a tablet, you can be working from an A3 or A4, whatever size you wanted to paint this. You can work from a printout. It's not a problem. Now I'm doing this, it's basically to keep my trigger control on point. That's why I'm going down. I'll go from A3 size pieces of artwork right down to ones this size. I like working on this small scale because it really gets you working very fine trigger control, dials you in on your trigger control. So this one is 125mm wide by 155mm in like length. And what I've done first is chop that out and then cut a piece of application tape. If you don't know what application tape is, it sort of mainly gets used in the sign industry. If you've seen like cut vinyl graphics and you see someone apply them, you'll see like a white piece of like paper, which is this, and your vinyl graphic would sit behind that. You would peel the backing off the vinyl, which is a silicone paper, which leaves your graphic stuck to this, transfer it across, squeegee it, and then when you pull the paper away, which is this one, it leaves your graphic on your vehicle or whatever you're doing underneath. So it's really handy stuff because it's low tack and you can pencil over it, so you can draw on top of it because it's like a paper front. So very handy for airbrushing. So I projected baby Michael Myers up, sized it up, and then application tape on top, penciled just the outer. So gone around the outer of the image and penciled that on top of the application tape. Remove the application tape, put that onto a cutting mat, grabbed a scalpel and then chopped that out, and that's what you can see there. So that piece there is the inner to that. You could move that over, place it on top, and it would mirror match and fit in that little hole there. So that's what I've done, and then left the projector running. So I'm leaving the projector running, so I've not moved the image at all, it's exactly where it was. And then go in and pencil all the internals. So bits of the top, the knife, the hand, the feet, around the eyes, the mask, little bits on the hair, to give you guidelines to follow. So when you look across at your reference, you can see where you're going to what you're painting. So you can look across and go, right, yeah, that's the button, there's the button. You look across and you can see the pocket, you know exactly where the pocket is. So when you're painting, it's a bit like paint by numbers, where you see them old-fashioned pictures where you got all the numbers on and you put the paint where the numbers are. You've not got numbers on it, but you've just got outlines and little bits that you can follow. Similar sort of thing. So I've got it to that stage there. The next thing is your paints. Now we're using FW inks. Now I've got my paints mixed. If you've seen yesterday's video on paint consistencies, you'll see in that video that I decant and mix all my colours and I have them all ready to go. It saves a lot of faffing around and time mixing up colours for your piece of artwork. I've got loads of skin tones mixed, near enough every one that I can sort of go in and get them near enough 99% bang on to the image. So I've grabbed a few skin tones. I've got a couple of blues, Payne's grey and a black. Sort of looked at the image and thought, right, we'll have that colour, that one and that one. That'll do it to complete this. Now mixing your colours, I'm not going to go into depth on this, but I'd grab yourself a colour wheel, one of these. I'm going to leave a link in the description to somebody else's video, which is a specific video on this pocket colour wheel. And they go into depth on how it works, how you move it round to create your colours, how you can mix colours and things like that. So that will be in the video description, so you can nip over and see that one. Cleaning products, I've got sort of this side. So I've got 2K thinners, water for flushing through, cotton buds, cotton wool pads, and I've got some cut down kitchen towel. Simple, nice and cheap, you don't need anything else. You have that one side of you, and then the opposite side, if I need to thin the paints down, if I need to just tweak them slightly, I've got my water and my isopropanol, job done. To the table here, I've got a plastic pint pot, which is masking tapes at an angle to the table. So simple, you can just keep it simple. You don't have anything fancy. And I've got some ripped up kitchen towel inside it and just pushed down to the bottom. That's what I'll be using to spray into to clean through my colours. Just a quick blast on that side, job done, you're back painting. The brush we're using today is the Iwata Custom Takumi on a 018. We're going to be running low pressure. I like this brush because it's very short at the front. It brings you up close to your work, so you can get right up close. It's got a very short front end instead of it being a longer front end of brush where it sort of makes you sit back. You're up close and personal because it is a small piece. It takes you right in. So that's the brush. We're going to be running around 10 psi. I'll always dial it in and check each paint that I'm using here first. Always go in there. I don't want to be going in and checking my paint actually on a piece of artwork. I want to check it to the side, see if the brush is running good, see if the atomization on the paint and how it's laying down is nice, and then I just go in and commit, and then you can have no dramas. If you keep checking to this side, you've got less chance of mistakes. So just go through your little checklist, everything's sorted, that's that side, everything's laid out, ready to go, running from the tablet, and then you can just crack on, enjoy your artwork, stick some tunes on and just enjoy it and get into it. So I'll move you in closer, I'll chat to you as we go along, and we'll get baby Michael Myers down. Right guys, we're going to start off. I've got a Payne's Grey mix in here. Now, instantly test your brush, like that. So if you're getting down like that, running low pressure, which we are, you know you're good to go. So we're going to start off on the mask. Now I'm just going to drop a tone around the mask here. This is the Payne's Grey, so going in light. Just get these little bits in. Like that. Got a tiny little bit of flick up here, so a little bit of like that. Got one that side as well, so we'll just use that little bit of shield. Like that. A little bit in this mouth bit under the chin. Just bit in there like that. We'll just follow the line out for that mouth. Like that. A little bit in there. Just going in very lightly. Where you need it a little bit darker, just put it in. like that. We'll go over the eyebrows. Just going over in Payne's Grey. This will go actually black because it's very dark on the image. A little bit coming across this ear. Same on this side. Like that. So we've got that bit in. Just going to go under these lines here with a shield. Just create a line like that. That'll do. I've got that bit in. Now we can move this colour down to the knife because it's very similar on that knife edge. So I'm just going to drop a little bit of paint down there. And then a little bit around here. Like that. That's a bit of the knife in. I'm going to go over the edge of that knife around the top on that little dot there. So that's covered that bit. We can drop a bit of this on the shoe, around there like that. This one's got more of a sharp edge, so we'll just drop a little bit of that right there. So that's that bit in. So they're the sort of bits in the Payne's Grey. I'm going to go with that. Just going to darken them out there a little bit. So that's that bit. I've used minimal paint. Right, what I'm going to go in with next is give that brush a little couple of drops of water, quick back bubble and blast into your pot. Simple. It's right next to you, everything's to hand, just makes your painting a little bit easier. Now I'm going to go in with, I've got a very light pink. Get a little bit of ISO, drop that, test to the side, and we're going to go in on the ears and just drop a tone of this around on these ears, like that. We'll drop another tone in on this. So we've got the ears in. We've got that piece there, so we can come in and drop a bit in there. Drop down to the hands and just start to drop a bit on these hands. Like that. A little bit in there. Move on to this one. So that's them bits in. First pass, we're going to tint over these. So I've got a little bit of that pink in there. Now I'm going to go in with, I've got another skin tone. I'm just going to drop a little bit of this darker skin tone mix in there. And just brown it up a bit, very slightly. Just warm it up a bit. Just on the little bits, just. Very light pass. A little bit of that. Clean that through. A little bit of water. Clean your brush out. Blast through. Now we're going to go for a little bit of that light pink again. And drop a little bit of, just going to see what this comes out like. Yeah, I think we'll go with that. I'm going to drop a little bit of sepia in there. Yeah, a little bit of sepia in that mix. Back in on the ears. Start to put a little bit on the inners. See, everything's sort of lined on it, and I'm trying not to line everything up. I don't want it all lined up, so I'm just going to tint these back. Go around these finger bits. A bit of shading. That'll do for that pass. Just toned it back a bit. A little bit more on that here. Like that, that'll do for that. So I've got like a skin colour in there. Right, we're going to work up to, we're going to drop the hair in next. So I've got a brown. I'm going to darken that brown off. Drop a little bit. Make it a little bit browner. We've got that. Drop a little tiny drop of black in there. Bit of ISO, mix it up. Just keep checking your paints to the side. So I'm going to mask off, just shield off a bit around here. I'm just going to go in with a pass and work this round. Now you could mask this face off if you wanted to. I'm just going to work it off the shield like that. Work off the shield. You can use the bits with the ear, shield off the ears like that. We can go in and just create your own. My hair textures will be different. Build that up, and you can just spray straight onto this outer like that, and you've not got to worry, because that's masking off your white outer of the image. So like that. Hold the shield up again, so you can get a nice dark edge off this edge here, like that. Whenever I do a step by step, the pigeons come out. I swear I'm going to go out there one day and they're all going to be holding a brush, sitting in front of an easel. So you can make the hair your own, as long as you're sort of following the shapes roughly where they're going. Like that. Got some little bits down the bottom here. Shield it off. Shield the bits off. You just want to keep clean. Work off the shield. Like that. A little bit there, around the ear. Yeah, that'll do. Right, I'm going to drop a little bit more black in that mix. Really darken it up. Back bubble it, just blast a bit through, test it, and then we can go back in for the next pass on the hair. Like that. Do some little strands coming round. Like that. I'm going to do a little bit of that underneath there just to separate that and bring that forward a bit. I'm just going to darken out some of the bits in the ears. Like that. Onto the eyebrows. Like that. A couple of dots for the nose. A little bit on the mouth. That. Check your brush. Drop these eyes in, we can go these freehand. Like that. Work the eyes in, all the eye sockets of the mask. Like that. That's not looking too bad. Hair looks a little bit more realistic than the original, but this is what you're going to get because you're not putting that black edge around it like a cartoon. You're making it a little bit more realistic by not putting an edge around everything. That just makes the image look a lot better, I think. Like that. So we've got that bit in. And now we can just start to work down this piece. We can go in and do the actual handle. I'm going to go in with the handle with this colour. Just go straight in on this. Like that. Paint's just running a little bit thick. like that. Just going to tint round that with that. That's that bit. We've got a little sort of line on this part of the blade. Drop a little bit there. Do a little line on that, just to give it that little bit of line on that bit of blade there. A little bit. Around there. So that bit's in, we can ditch this colour. Give the brush a clean out, and then we'll move on to the blue. So just give this a little clean with thinners. Blast it through. Then a buzz through with water. Like that. So just take your time when you're doing something like this, like it's really small. Just break it down into them little sections like we have. Like we started off with doing that little bit around the mask, and then just sort of worked it around. And we can go back in. We're going to go back in once this is all in, and then we'll start to sharpen things up. And right, I've got a very bright blue. I'm going to go in with this one straight off the bat and just work this in, and we'll tint over it. So just working on the top. I'm just going to work around this. All in this one sort of colour. Give that a little drop of ISO. Start to work this in. Just going to literally go in and just drop a tone down to start working it. Nice and light. Like that. Where you see your creases, that's where you're going to go darker. And you're sort of rolling the edges off, so you're going darker from where the creases are and lighten it up where the top bits are. Like that. The paint in there. Start to darken bits out. Around. Passes on the top. Working up close, minimal trigger, just putting the paint where you want to put it. Some tone in here. Build it up a bit. On that. Now I'm going to drop a little bit of just a darker tone there. So just basically drop a drop of black in there. One drop of black. And just darken that tone up. Use your shield where you need it so you can keep things sharp, side of the knife. Just work this tone in. And just build it up. Hold stuff with the shield, work around, get some paint down. Do little stitches, just basically little dots. Work around that bit. Some tones in here. Coming round. Like that. little stitches. Let's work some shades in around here. Down here. Like that. Just build it up nice and light and just work it. Do. A little bit of a shadow under there. Shield that off again here. Just get a bit of a darker in there. Like that. Right, we've got that blue in. Now I'm going to go in with an indigo blue, which is a darker blue. I'm just going to go over and just tint in over the top. Like that. Darken some bits out. Like that. And drop a little pass of that on the inner bottom of that shoe. Right, I'm going to go for a drop of black with the indigo blue. Just darken it up. Just go deep in these creases here. Darken these out. Just line these shoes out. Just put some little there is tiny little lines on this bottom of the shoe, so I'm just putting some in place just to give it the look of that. Bit around on them. Just do a little around on there. We'll just darken that out. Shadow at the bottom of that shoe. A little bit dark on here. Like that. Like that. A little bit on this knife. Just going to tint that knife back so that I can drop a Posca highlight on that. I think that'll do on that. I think that'll do. Bit on the eyes with the black. Just darken the sockets out. A bit more on the hair. Like that. Just going to do a darker tone around that mask. That'll do. Right, I'm going to go at that. And what we'll do is we'll demask it and just, and you'll see it sort of pop a bit more off the paper. We can then get this piece off here. Let's get the scalpel. Like that. Just get rid of that masking. I'm going to go in with an eraser at the end. Any unwanted lines, we'll just get rid of them. Stick that on there. Then we'll just drop a little bit of a drop shadow in here. Like that. Like that. I think that will be a little bit closer. That's that bit. Get the Poscar, just do some highlights on them bits. Do a little bit on there. Do a little bit on the knife here. Lots of little highlights in. Like that. That. Just some little like that. I think that'll do. I'm going to go around with an eraser now and just erase out any little unwanted lines. We can drop a few little flicks in the hair. Like that. Just get an eraser, erase bits out and we're done. There you go guys, so I've just erased out some of the unwanted lines that are around the outside. Erased them out, done a little darker tone around that piece and we're all done, we've got it down. So it's handy using the application tape because you can keep the background nice and clean, and then you can use your shield here to drop shadow in, and you can cut pieces out of this. If you wanted to cut the eyes out or just shield the mask off when you're doing the hair, you can do that. So it's really handy stuff to use. So there you go guys, we've got baby Michael Myers down in the end. I hope you've enjoyed the video and picked up a few tips along the way. Just go in nice and light and just build your tones up. We could have gone a lot darker on the blues, but I like that softness of this with the blue. It's not too dark. The original image is a little bit sort of darker blue, but I've gone with sort of more like a baby blue. My hair textures are different. I've dropped some highlights in, different tone of hair, but you make it your own and it looks like the image that we're working from, and just stylize it and make it your own. So I hope you enjoyed the video. Drop your comments if you're liking this style of content, these step-by-steps. Drop your comments, give me your thoughts. Click that subscribe, press that notification, and I'll see you in the next one, which is this one. We're going to do Jason Voorhees next, Baby Jason. So cheers, guys.